been shown out there. In terms of a bit of even officiating, if you take a look at even officiating hasn't been that bad. It's just in the last couple of days that we've had complaints from teams like Young Apostles who are threatening pull-outs. But it's the nature of the game. Once we don't have top-notch technology, VR and others in our league, you would have such instances. A number of things to be improved, though. Just one, I think that the spectatoring can be improved. Take a look at Accra, Hartlepool, a team like Hartlepool playing at home and empty stands. If you look at the teams that play...
Well, for that, many say that the only tonic to drag the fans back to the venues has to be a team consistently winning. Because if we go to the hinterlands, Doma, we go to Takwa, I mean, the fans come in their numbers.
That's the point I was coming to.
It's a Kumasi that we need to do.
So the teams, how come a team like Hartlepool, a team like Koko, and that we're attracting supporters in droves? Even last season when Hearts used to play here, I don't know if it's also about the evening games, but you could see the stands behind us would always be filled with people coming in from Medina and the rest because of the central location of this stadium. This is the University of Ghana. So many students. What incentivization is being put in place to get people to feel?
So that has to be the teams actually promoting their games.
Teams, their marketing, promotion. Actually, they need to. The teams actually need to up that to be able to get the supporters in. Because as you right said, if you go to Doma, if you go to Swedro, if you go to Hohoi, one of my favorite.
Well,
the stadiums are always.
Hohoi is actually one of my favorites as well. Because the fans come in their numbers. They love their football and they will always be there. So it's the Ghana Premier League today. It's a big one in Match Day 20, and we are raising the curtain here because 11 Wonders who are rock bottom are coming up against Hartlepool. We take a quick breather. When we return, there's more to discuss. It's a stellar Saturday in the Ghana Premier League here on TV3 and on your TV live. The University of Ghana Sports Stadium, Heartful coming up against 11 Wonders, who are rock bottom of the league table. But that is not the only game that will be played in Match Day 20. Let's look at the fixtures for Match Day 20 quickly. As you know, in a few minutes' time, it's 11 Wonders who are coming up against Heartful. Asante Kotoko tomorrow, after that impressive draw against BBNA, are back home. This time they are playing Baseke Holy Stars, who beat Kotoko in the first leg of this fixture. Mediama League leaders will be looking at coming up against Karela at the TNA Park. Then there's Dreams against Young Apostles. Samatex at Sechue would also host the Nations FC. Bichim United, they will come up against Heart of Lions. Then there's Hoho United against Vision, with Brekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park taking on BBNA Gold Stars. Then Sweden All Blacks would also face Adriana FC. So big games to look forward to in that one. You are talking about Hoho United. They started the season brilliantly with that draw against Heart of Folk, but since then it looks like they've slipped into oblivion, and it's not really working for them. It's been a top seat every time.
I would say they didn't really. If you look at the team, they had they had a number of experienced players. People like Paul Kwame, who had played for Liberty. They brought in a couple of others, but I thought that the recruitment to bring to play in this to play in the league is quite different from playing in the Division 1. So they should have beefed it up a bit. I've seen that in the second transfer window, they've brought in a couple of people from. There was one player they brought in from Guinea and others. So it got to a point in time where, you know, the higher it goes, the cooler it becomes, as they say. So if you don't have that squad depth, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. The squad depth of Hoho United at a point in time is what really worried them. And if you want to keep afloat in this league, you don't bank all your hopes only on your home games. At least you need to be playing for draws and doing other things. And that is what Hoho United got wrong. They are very much formidable at home, but when they go out, it becomes a big problem.
Formidable at home, and even at home, they've won just 3 games, and that is not good enough. And Hoho United will be hoping that they would have a win against Vision, because they've parted ways with their manager, Tijani Bashir. But the focus is here at the University of Ghana Stadium. 11 Wonders taking on Heartful, and this is how 11 Wonders, who, by the way, are the home side, arrived at the Accra Sports Stadium. They've already, the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Yeah. It will take me some time for me to get accustomed to that, but they've already lost Frank Awari, and they still have the likes of Boateng in there. Jude, I mean, do you side with a lot of people who believe that 11 Wonders not playing as their traditional home in Techiman has really played a part in why they are struggling?
If that was the case with the first few games, I mean, that would have been pardonable. So, for instance, if it had been a certain pattern with the first, second, and third games in Accra, that would have been a situation. But this is your 20th game, and this is actually their 12th game here at Legon. No, this is the top flight. Nobody is going to cut you slack for failing to acclimatize. I think that the problem with 11 Wonders is a bit more managerial than even on the field.
But they've used 3 different managers this season. They started with Neodati Lamte, then Jay Sapon took over before Emmanuel Edu.
When I talk about
before the first half of the season ended.
When I talk about manager, I'm not just talking about the technical tutelage on the field. I'm talking about administration.
Okay.
So Jay Sapon was in charge for just about 2 or 3 games, and there's this interview where he actually gave in there that's what was really happening. So with Coach Edu, he's done quite well to be able to roll up his sleeves and do the work up until now. And if you look at how 11 Wonders play, they're actually not really a bad side.
Yeah.
They play actually quite well, but the problem is always with the final third, and also having the confidence to come back into the game when they concede the first goal.
Well, it's been a really big problem for them. But you are talking about final third. One team that is also struggling in the final third is Heartful, and they have also arrived at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, led by Masoud Didi Dramani. That is their beautiful Phobia Bed Bass. And one of the biggest news for them is that Kelvin Osasibe is back into the ranks. He missed their last game where they actually drew against Dreams FC. Now you look at Heartful season, and it's been a lot of ifs. If this one had gone in, this one had gone in, it looks like the biggest Achilles heel of this team has to be goal scoring, and they seem never to be able to solve it.
Absolutely. Usually, when you don't have your strikers, the main guys up front delivering the goods, you should have at least a couple of midfielders who can step up, and then give you the goals. In the first couple of games, you had the likes of Enoka Subonti, who scored the goal when they played at Accra Sports. They had Hussein doing all that kind of work, but increasingly it's become difficult. And I'm not surprised that today Hamza is not in the starting lineup. If you look at his output against Dreams last week, it tells a lot. And Frank Abora hasn't really gotten into his own. The way he was playing when he was at Vision, hasn't really gotten into his own when it comes to he played for Accra to Folk. If you look at the Hearts team, very balanced, very tactically disciplined. You have Didi putting his imprint on the team. If you look at the spine of the team, from Ali Mohammed to Osiasibe to the midfield three that gelled very wonderfully, Rafael Amponsa, Abdul Karim, and Hussein in the thick of the pack. They're very structured. Look at how they defend. Look at how they attack. But the problem is with the sharpness up front.
Well, it's up front that had to focus.
They couldn't beef up the team.
They could not sign a player because they are under banners. But I spoke with coaches of both sides when they arrived at the stadium. For Masudi Dramani, they want to get over the disappointment of last week where they drew against Dreams FC and get back to winning ways. For Emmanuel Edu and 11 Wonders, who are rock bottom of the Ghana Premier League table, the agenda, the aim is one, win enough games to survive. Coaches, Monday 20, and you are coming up against Hartlepool, one of the best defensive sides in the league. But the two games that you've won this season in the Ghana Premier League all came here at the University of Ghana Stadium. Does that give you enough confidence going into this one?
Yeah, always confidence. Always confident, Always confident. Because that's what we've been working for. So, yeah, we are here to work hard and go for the ultimate.
Is the aim still on with 11 Wonders surviving, despite having just 9 points in about 19 games?
Never say never. Yeah, never say never. We will fight to the end. Yeah, so we are on it.
Okay, now you are taking on one of the best defensive sides in the Ghana Premier League. How do you plan to break them down?
Yes, just as you said, Hearts of Folk, it's, when you talk about one of the best teams in Africa, Ghana, and the Continental Club Master, we have enough respect for them. But in this situation, we need to go all out and then do our best, and then we are going for the ultimate, just like I said. That's it.
Coach, we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Coach, match day 20 here, you are coming up against a side that is rock bottom of the Ghana Premier League. These are matches that can be banana peel for any side. How are you envisaging this one?
I think in football, there's nothing like an easy, cool job. You need to work for it, and devoid of their position, their outplay has been very, very positive, right from the first round till now. And so we are approaching the game with all the seriousness that it needs in terms of keeping our consistent performance and then even doing more in terms of our conversion rate.
Of course, talking about your conversion rate, last week against Dreams FC, you had a golden opportunity. Missing these chances, it's been so with a lot of hard-to-full games. Does that really get you frustrated as a manager?
I don't get frustrated, but I get more concerned. And more concerned in the sense that there's still more to work on to improve, and there's still more to grow with, more especially growing players. And that is why this week we did a lot of individual positional sessions in different phases of the game, defensive, middle part of the pitch and middle part of the players, and then also the offensive. Trying to do this in terms of actualizing what you think has been very deficient. And this is normal when the league, is on. You only will have to pick problems, challenges, and working to improve this. And as I said, it is always a work in progress.
Just 8 points separating you and the team on top, that is Mediema. Are you playing catch-up, or you are just concerned about what your team will do?
In football, point build-up is very, very important. And so you only have to be chasing. Chasing is in the sense that every available 3 points is very important. You have to concentrate on what you are doing rather than concentrating on what someone is doing.
Thanks very much, Coach.
My pleasure.
So a win for Hartlepool means that they close the gap on Mediema, who are the league leaders, to 5 points. A win for 11 Wonders would be an iota of confidence booster for them, and they would hope to have some consistency to survive. Not easy, but Hartlepool, these are the games that they can't afford to drop points, but these are games that are also like banana peels. You can easily slip.
Yeah, of course. Looking at the fact that 11 Wonders are coming into the game buoyed on by the fact that the last game they played here, they beat Basake Holy Stars by a comfortable 2-0. And then Hearts of Folk themselves played that, I don't want to use the word lackluster, but it was a game that had everything with the exception of a goal. So they really need to dig deep. And considering the fact that this would be a very big morale booster to them if they're able to win, it means that if they're able to win this game, they really haven't kissed their dreams or the reality of winning the league goodbye, because it means that it will push them up, and hope that if Mediama slips tomorrow, they'll be able to. It will keep them in the running to be able to win the league.
Again, Benjamin Asari in post, the trusted hands.
Absolutely.
Finally, everything has gone to bed.
And I'm happy the way he seamlessly fit into because Solomon Agbasi really, did very well the time he had to hold up. And as I was telling you off, the good thing about the Hearts of Folk team is as well is, even though they are not scoring, they are also not conceding. They've conceded just 7 goals out of 19 games, which is very, very impressive. And all of that boils down to the number of clean sheets that they've had. So they have 2 very, very competitive, 2 very good goalkeepers. And I'm very sure. I'm looking at what I saw last week in the Dreams game, the kind of qualities of saves that Benjamin had to pull off. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem at all, and he's fit back into the team seamlessly as it was before.
Of course, Benjamin Asari starting. But do you think these are the games that players like Frank Aburaduku needs to really put themselves or put their foot on the gas, score, and evoke some confidence into the Hearts of Folk fans?
These are the kind of games that you build your confidence with, because you are not coming up against an attack that they've considered as many as 29 goals. That's the defense of 11 Wonders. They've considered 29 goals. So if you look at such a team and you're a striker with your, so this is an opportunity for you to collect your sambas, with or do your best to be able to.
In our local palace, we say Joe Samba.
Course,
so the teams are ready in the tunnel and ready to come onto the pitch and do battle. It's 11 Wonders against Hearts of Folk live on TV3 and on Uya TV. We hand you over to our team of commentators, Benjamin, Willie Graham, and Kelvin Owusu. See you after the first 45 minutes.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome to the Legon Stadium. This is match day 20 of the Ghana Premier League, and here we are with Accra Hearts of Oak and 11 Wonders facing each other. 3:30 p.m. is the kickoff time in the capital. The University of Ghana Stadium is definitely live and breathing with anticipation of match day 20 of the Premier League. Marching from the hearts of the city, certainly Hearts of Oak will come in here with 11 Wonders looking to change the narrative. 20th indeed, bottom of the Premier League table. 11 Wonders want to escape that relegation battle and see how best they can actually move up on the Premier League law. But just right in front of them is Hearts of Oak, who certainly are also not looking bad at all in terms of their pride and how they intend to change the narrative in terms of winning the Premier League title. It's been pretty much difficult for Coach Masudi Dramani and his charges there in terms of getting a lot of goals there. But for 11 Wonders, it's a mighty task there for them to see if they can't change any of their work rates in the Premier League. And that's been very much difficult for them to do so. But this time, coming up against Accra Hearts of Oak, certainly it is going to be a huge task there for them to fulfill.
It hasn't been a season they have been happy with the opening half giving them lots of problems, not just managerial changes. They had to endure a number of changes to their setup, but gradually picking up confidence at the University of Ghana Stadium. They should prove a very difficult one for Hearts of Oak, who are yet to really have a command of this particular venue with regards to winning lots of games.
We walk into this game here for 11 Wonders in terms of the changes they made. They just made one change in the setup there with the introduction of Desmond Tete, who coming up against, he's replacing Felix Akole. And Desmond Tete actually coming in from Dreams FC on loan. He just joined the team in this transfer window, the January transfer window there. So just one change there for team 11 Wonders.
Well, just and the Hakeem Miller moving away from central defense to play at right back, clearly telling you that the team has a bit of difficulty with regards to having their laterals being available. So that's when the champion will stay on the left-hand side of that defense, and then Emmanuel Boateng is expected to be the link man in midfield.
And Coach Emmanuel Edu there says the team is ready to fight for every grass here at the Legon Stadium to sustain their place in the Premier League and not to go on relegation. He's looking forward to a very combative game against Hearts of Oak this afternoon there, but referees for this afternoon's game is led by Maoli George Vomahan, who will be assisted in lines 1 there by Badiama Alassane Halilu, and assistant referee 2 is Akiso Baka George Segate, and the fourth official is Lord Nate. So these are the match officials for today's game, but you obviously be looking ahead to what specifically would 11 Wonders come into this game with in terms of how they have worked out in the Premier League. They still sit bottom of the Premier League log. Not really a very good place for them this time.
Well, they would want to pick up the pieces, and clearly if you look at the team and the difficulties that they've witnessed, they would want to get the right result, hit the momentum, and be able to pick up as many points to survive.
6 changes Hearts of Oak have to chop and change there. Ransford Mensah out there for Baba Damu at the left full back position. Gordon Kujo is also out for Kevin Osei. Well, Kevin Osei comes in to replace Gordon Kujo. Remember, he played in the last game here against Dreams FC. And Yaman Kwabe is also out for Emmanuel Amankwa, and Hamza Issa also out for Frank Abora Duku, and George Paku also out for Mauli Wayo this time, and David Okwafani also not sitting on the bench there for the team at Raphael Amponsa. Basically having a lot of changes there in the setup there for Masoud Didraman. 6 changes there for him.
Well, you cannot definitely have any problems with regards to Osei returning to the team, but I'm sure it's because of disciplinary issues why Ransford Mensah and then that is Amankwa Befi are out of this particular game, because they are not even. It's just Ransford Mensah being on the bench, and Baba Damu, very good left back with regards to his time with Golden Cake Football Club. He joined Accra Hearts of Oak and he hasn't really seen a lot more game time. Hopefully this comes good for him. It's a like-for-like change with Frank Abouadoukou coming in for Hamza Issa, and then Abdul Karim together with Hussein Mohammed will be relying on the shield provided by Raphael Amponsa for the defense in order for them to run the attack for Hearts of Oak. Maulu Waya, as usual, very expansive player, always wants to go in behind the defense. Will give Hakeem Miller, who is playing as a makeshift left back, lots of problems.
And marching on for the game here for Hearts of Oak. Bearers of Legacy is co-opted by triumph, and they are driven by expectation. Hearts of Oak is a club name, echoes through generations, where every pass carries memory and every goal carries that bit of belief there. And so you have Bora Duku and Benjamin Asari always keeping a clean sheet there for the Phobians after his injury return to the Phobian setup. And so now they almost ready now for us to start this match day 20 game here at the Legon Stadium. Hearts of Oak and 11 Wonders, and this is where the narrative starts from. 11 Wonders defending from left to right. The Hearts of Oak will begin their action, quickly moving down into the half of 11 Wonders. And it's obviously going to be a very tall game there for the Phobians to see how they maintain that momentum. It has really been difficult for them to get the goals there, but Masoud Dramani is promising the Phobian faithfuls that this time changes will be happening.
Well, they have a very good defense, and they're also buoyed by the captain, who is a very good shot stopper. Very few goals last week against Dreams FC. He stood between Hearts of Oak losing that match and earning a point in their home game. Hopefully today he lives up to the bill. But for the midfield, that is where Hearts of Oak would have to deal with the brilliance of Emmanuel Boate, the captain for 11 Wonders, and Eden Kofi Asamoah is also one of the creative forces we've seen so far in the league.
G. Dramani talked about the fact that he's going to exploit the weaknesses of 11 Wonders in the Premier League. Talked about the 11 Wonders position. They don't really have to deceive people from what they do in terms of quality in their setup. One of the finest squads in the Premier League here, 11 Wonders. D. Dramani talked about the 11 Wonders team, that they play more fluent football. They keep the ball more, and so they have to try and as much as possible to exploit the weaknesses there with the Phobians getting the field opportunity on the right hand side there, and so looking for Duku to tapping for the first goal there, but opportunity just going there, and so it's Henry Boateng with a chance there to give Hearts of Oak the first opportunity and goal there.
Well, that was quite a very decent pass, crossfield delivery. Kokubuatu was looking at finding his man inside the penalty area.
Phobian and Abdul Karim on the ball there, back to Henry Boateng, trying to get to the near post, and just goes wide there for side netting. But again, Hearts of Oak just getting some bit of openings there, just closer to the 18-yard area of 11 Wonders, beginning to show their prowess and beginning to ask the questions at the moment.
Quite a positive start there. Kokubuatu was expected to at least lay off that pass that you can see from Ali Mohammed. Wasn't happy with the final decision.
Trying to get the balls back into very good areas, the Hearts of Oak, and plenty of the balls will be given down to Boateng Henry. Getting the ball out of play, opportunity now for 11 Wonders to start their own style of play, their fluid football, talked about there by Didi Dramani. And the interesting bit about the team is that the 11 Wonders setup have to bring in some changes as well, with the introduction of Obedo Fori from Ankotiv. He comes as a free agent from Antalya Sport. Desmond Teta talked about him as a loanee from Dreams FC, and Hamza Musa from Tema United. Again, you have the Dreams FC set up. Also looking to get the things going, but 11 Wonders really have opportunity now to move forward. Matthew Amponsa with that bit of tricks there on his side.
He's witty, he's fast, he's very creative, he has lots of space and pace. In front of him, there's a lot that Babadamu has to deal with.
Again, Hearts of Oak depending their lines and not under any bit of a pressure to in terms of how the 11 Wonders team set up. It's surprising that 11 Wonders are languishing 18th on the Premier League table with just 9 points after 19 games, with a negative goal difference of 15, the highest in the Premier League.
I think that it's been quite a difficult time for them. The defensive frailties every single now and then, making changes. So their color is down on the bench, and Hakim is being played as a makeshift. Quite a number of inconsistencies, but you cannot blame the coach. The league's players were very much committed and at top levels to be able to grind the results he needs.
We've had a lot of changes there in terms of the coaching setup. Odate Lamte and Jay Sapong, and now you have Emmanuel Edu coming in. But nothing really has changed with the setup of 11 Wonders. They still keep the ball, they're still playing, as Didramani said, flowing football. And the only problem they have, they've not been able to convert the opportunities that they've had in the Premier League, and now giving the ball away to Hearts of Oak with Karim here for the Phobians to begin their construction of a football and the attacking play for the Phobians once again, and now they have to keep it neat and simple.
Well, everyone is a very meticulous side. They take all their time in the world to build play from defense to midfield, then run into the attack every time they have the ball. But their press is always very much positive. Just like you said, the only problem has been decision making in the final third, which is also a problem with Hartlepool. I'm sure the captain Manuel Boateng knows that he would have to put on his A game to be able to get the ball behind. Ali Mohammed and then Kovino Sesibe.
Again, it's going to be a very exciting moment there for the two sides to get to see how the Premier League will be for them. 11 Wonders have had to play a part of the Premier League. And one of the moments there for these two setup is how they have worked the last couple of days. And the coaches are beginning to say and change the mindset of the players. Hartlepool would have to get Baba Damo in there. But the most interesting bit of the performance there for the Phobians is the inclusion of Baba Damo as a left full back, and Hartlepool do have a concern when the player down and needs to be attended to.
It was quite a heavy barge into him there. So malicious tackle coming in from Desmond the Champon Hussein. It was quite nasty.
Not the best of play there. The Phobians get an opportunity to move forward, and so this is the ball whipped into the middle, and it's going to be Wonders moving in here. And Aiden Kofi Asamoah playing a part now. They have kept the ball very neat and simple. They're cutting on the side. Emmanuel Boateng having to move deep into the defensive areas to pick the balls there and now to swing it down the left hand side, and ball just going out of play. And there's the problem with the 11 Wonders. They are very neat at keeping the balls there, but haven't really been able to take advantage of the possession that they've had so far.
You can understand why Edu is very much angry at his men. Don't look a bit casual, and as much as you're meticulous, they expect you to make the prudent decision every now and then in games. You can understand why he's fuming. I think talking about Emmanuel Boateng, he's a player who always wants to be on the offensive, but with Frank Carrera moving to All Blacks, he has to get and pick up that responsibility of playing deeper in midfield to create for the team.
Talk about the Phobian side, ball set in. Ali Mohammed also always looking for the likes of Duku up front. Haven't been able to pick up the pieces together, and 11 Wonders here on the ascendancy and trying to get the attack moving there against Hartlepool. It was a difficult moment there as a good possession. That 11 Wonders have only won 5 games in their last 5 matches there in the Premier League. Only 1 game, and Hartlepool have an opportunity with the first goal here. Mauliwayo certainly gets it for the Phobians. He certainly will score there. Scored for Hartlepool against Hull United, and now he's made it 1-0 at the Lagos Stadium against 11 Wonders. Mauliwayo, 2 goals in 2 games he started for the Phobians. This is a great start for Hartlepool.
Brilliant piece of football from the Phobians. Clever pass, a very brilliant touch. Took his time on the ball, waited, and made that shot cut back onto his favorite left foot. Shot it beyond the reach of goalkeeper Hadi Obefuete. Look at that pass. Henry Kokubuate. Mauliwayo taking all his time in the world to blast that one home. Lots of composure, calm, and brilliant finish from the man who always likes to steal in behind the defense, and once again, and in no waste the opportunity.
Well, the time Hartlepool got the only goal against Hull United, it was this man Mauliwayo who stole his way in the defensive area of Hull United and got the first goal, and now he's done the same thing against 11 Wonders. Defensive frailties of 11 Wonders again. Didi Dramani talking about exploiting the weakness of 11 Wonders to get the goals there, and he's done that exactly. And Mauliwayo gifting and crediting the efforts of Didi Dramani with a goal here.
They're always a press trigger team. Lots of enforced errors. And Hartlepool will capitalize on it every single time you give the ball away.
And now Mauliwayo the goal scorer once again, just less than 10 minutes now, and Hartlepool lead by a goal to nil. 11 Wonders nil, Hartlepool 1. Mauliwayo scored the goal in 8 minutes, and that's at the woes of 11 Wonders who before this game had conceded and have a negative goal defense. Now Hartlepool with a second goal. Wow, just missing the opportunity. It was certainly an open net there for Kweku Boateng Henry to get the second for Hartlepool. Everything was perfectly done by Adamu, just tapping in for the second for Hartlepool, and he just blasted that wide.
A lot of happenings there in that sequence of play. Adamu, the left back, marauding and making that cross Hadi Obinfo missed it. Kenneth Osubuache missed it. You expected Kwaku Boateng to be tapping that one home from close range. Quite an unpardonable miss.
Beginning to have some quality play there. So now they have a negative of 16 goals conceded there. 11 wonders. It's in match day 20 already. They are caving in to the incessant pressures of Atufuk in the Premier League.
It's quite surprising. They look a bit jittery. They've been giving lots of balls away. It was quite surprising to see that from 11 wonders, especially when they haven't been forced. I think it's clever from Atufuk. They are picking the pockets of spaces in between the defense and the midfield. They're picking up on all the loose balls.
They're trying to have their way in the game there, the Phobians, and how to get almost everything working perfectly for them. They've got the goal there, and so they should be happy. And the game Atufuk, after 5 games, have 32 points after 19 games, and this is the 20th game they're playing with only a point separating them and second place team. Atufuk, shocking, is a team with the least number of goals scored so far in the season. They've now scored 13 goals, led by 11 wonders, Brickell, Chelsea, and of course Samatex, all on 14 goals, and now Atufuk do have 13 after scoring this one. But previously they had scored 2 goals, or 12 goals I should say. Last 5 games they had scored 2 goals. Hamza Issa and Maoli Wayo. Now he scored yet another goal here. And scored against Samatex and Hull United. It was a very exciting moment there for Maoli Wayo there, trying to make sure that at least he keeps his momentum going.
I think he's a player you can trust to bank in the goals. For you, more trusted than the central attacking man at Duku, Hamza Issa. Wayo always gives you that option, the best probability of getting the ball behind the net, and he's done that brilliantly. I see also Boache calling for a lot more urgency into their play. So that's Bruno Champon. He wants to see a lot more energy from his team. It's quite surprising. Ryo Bet hasn't really seen a lot more of play, and if you look at the previous game that 11 Wonders have played, it always comes in positive when they have Eden Kofi somewhere a lot more on the ball. Looks like he's too far away from the pivot.
Atufuk now, Maoli Wayo trying to bring the ball down quickly. He has not been able to take advantage of that, and we're still trying to see a lot more performance there for the Phobians as they move forward here. It's been pretty much of an easy construction. Harry Boateng once again into the penalty box of 11 Wonders, ball cleared away, and so Benjamin Asari with 7 clean sheets, Ursula Bassi with 6, and Shaibu Shabu with 1 here for Atufuk in the Premier League in terms of team players or goalkeepers who had the most clean sheets there so far.
It's quite interesting when a team has 13 clean sheets after 20 matches. It clearly gives you an indication of how good they are defensively. The only problem that Didi Dramani has kept drumming is the inability to convert chances and score a lot more goals. You need goals to win football matches, and that has
absolutely
been
the return of Benjamin Asari clearly gives Atufuk 5-4 fields a lot of exciting moments, and having to be off for quite a number of reasons there with the injury concern, but he's able to come back now, and Atufuk beginning to get a number of goals that they deserve here, and now they have scored. And now the set piece now to take advantage of the Phobians. And they come again with another ball. Or there's going to be an upswing going to the penalty box of 11 Wonders. Ball sent into the far post once again. It's been headed down beautifully there by Ali Mohammed, and it's been collected by Hadi Obinfo of 11 Wonders.
That was quite a very good leap there from Ali Mohammed, getting that connection to the ball and like that power to beat Hadi Obinfo. But that was quite a decent delivery from the Phobians. Seem to be ticking all the boxes so far.
Here comes Edmond Furapo there for 11 Wonders, and pretty much quite there. But the goal scored there by Mauli White, just going in between the two centre halves there, and then taking advantage of their slippery and of course the little gaps that they had, and slotting in the goal there. Clever and intelligent play for Mauli White.
Very intelligent from him. He's always picking up on those loose ends. He tries to pick up on those pockets of spaces and on the blind side of the defense. That is why he loves Hartlepool to stretch play. So he has that ability to run in between the defense, just like he did. And trust you me, when he gets into that position, if he remains calm and his composure is at an appreciable level, he'll always send those chances home.
We'll try to the moments going there. Hartlepool, really a very exciting team at the moment. Hearts and Bijama joint on a waypoint there. 16 accumulated this season, with Hartlepool scoring 6 and conceding 4 in 10 away games for the Phobians. And Benjamin Asari is always looking to get this team going forward here in the Premier League. So it was an exciting moment there for both sides, working hard, and the teams playing the quality football. Wins, Hartlepool really picking up away wins against Dreams FC, Brecon, Chelsea, Holy Stars and Hawaii United all drawn and games as well, and then there's a scoreline as well. There's the Premier League, match day 20 on the Premier League as well, and you always expect Eric Boateng on the flanks there, charging and creating a lot of problems there for Desmond Champong. Again, is been able to test the pulse of Hartlepool goalkeeper so far. You're talking about the 11-1 set up. They haven't really been able to cross the centre half and to create problems for Hartlepool with the matching up on staying back on the defensive areas and not being able to move forward.
Well, I think that the two dejected, a bit disjointed. You cannot see that sort of cohesion when it comes to them attacking as a unit. They often seem a bit isolated. That has given lots of freedom to Ali Mohammed and Kelvin Osesibe to push the laterals forward.
And you talked about they not scoring too many goals there, but Hartlepool have the most clean sheet there, 14 in the Premier League, followed by Kotogo with 12.
Just like I said, they're quite a very good team when it comes to defensively repelling the attack of opponents. What is left is for them to be very much dangerous in attack.
The captain here on the side of Wonders, trying to keep it neat and simple ball out of play. Difficult moment there for 11 Wonders to make amends and keep the momentum pretty much tight in the Premier League.
Yeah, the idea was brilliant there from Raouf, trying to quickly set Matthew Mponsa on his bike, but he couldn't find the right pass for him. A good defensive work there from Edmond Afro-Apo. They cannot let their guards down. It's quite a very good start, but looks like they're gradually getting back into the game with regards to their control, their passing and their delivery. And they've given it away again.
And now a chance now, that ball hit wide. And the Phobians looking to...
That's quite a rush there.
Opportunity and just going in there and then get things done. Yeah, Hussein got a very good chance against Dreams FC and just flapped the opportunity. It was a 1v1 against the goalkeeper. And Hussein just failed to utilize the opportunity presented to him by Hartlepool at the time.
It was quite a decent touch from him to make that interception, but he had all the time in the world to pick his spot, and he missed that, all because of the poor body balance behind that ball. A number of indecision from the 11 Wonders team, causing them, preventing them to fluidly play. But credit to Hartlepool, they've really done their pressing very well, making sure that these guys don't gently walk out of the press.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, 20 minutes already, 11 Wonders nil. Hartlepool in the Premier League, match day 20. 11 Wonders once again having failed to take advantage of the opportunities in terms of getting into the place where they can get in the goals. Once again, that's a foul here. But the referee really has had a very quiet afternoon. Through the first half already, and 11 Wonders haven't really been able to create the chances that they need to create and to score the goals that they have to score. Babadamo, the very first time he's playing as left full back there for Hartlepool.
It's quite disappointing to see from 11 Wonders, especially this is supposed to be their comfort zone. They haven't really had the best of times, and you can see from the reaction of the coach, Manuel Edu, with the experience of Afurapo and Kenneth Owusu-Boakye should be able to give them some upliftment and very good decision making. But they themselves are exempted from the poor decisions they've been making.
11 Wonders have accumulated 7 points at home after 10 matches played at home. They've scored 3 goals at home. Secured 3 home points in the last 5 home matches. Only put them ahead of Hawaii United and Young Apostles, all joined on 2 points from their last 5 home matches. Where statistically, 11 Wonders really haven't done much in the Premier League. Reason they are just rock-bottom on the Premier League log. You talk about the performance so far, and Hartlepool really having difficulties in terms, at least they're getting the goals into the very good areas there, but they are trying their part and to see if they can get more, at least get the second. Well, Hartlepool really have had to make some tweaking to the administrative the positions there with the introduction of former Ghana Football Association competitions department manager Julius Mbuna, who is now working as the CEO of Hartlepool at the moment.
That's quite interesting. They have on their hands a very competent person, someone who understands the game, both local and on the continent. And he could bring them up to speed on the latest models and management of the game.
Seshibe back into the starting lineup of Hartlepool after missing the match against Dreams FC. Calmly just got the ball to Adamu, and now Benjamin Asari was the man of the match in the match against Dreams FC. Asari is in the hands for a World Cup place there for the Black Stars, and now the Black Stars will have a friendly against Austria in March. And Asari obviously looking forward to that game, isn't he? Captain on the side there, and so hit the ball wide. Emmanuel Boateng, 11 Wonders. Again, poor play Hartlepool defensively. And Boateng trying to ambitiously take things from a different angle and just hit the ball wide.
The terrible decision making there from Emmanuel Boateng. Respect him as a captain of the team to take his time and make the best decision. You know, the technique in even hitting the ball wasn't really the best and ideal. It was always going to rise with a bit of hesitation and going in for that ball.
Yet again, a chance now for 11 Wonders. Oh, lovely play, lovely work now. There's going to be an opportunity to square to nobody in particular in the 18-yard box of Hartlepool. Quality footwork there from Gideon Kofi Asamoah. But again, there was nobody chasing in to see if they can take advantage.
He's a very intelligent player. He's a player that Hartlepool cannot let move, and that was exactly a trademark of what he's capable of. But you ask yourself, where was the centre forward? Raouf Muna, virtually absent.
So trying to see if they can get the equalizing goal Hartlepool. And 11 Wonders. Let's see, it's setting up a camp right in front of their penalty area of the Phobians. Ball sent back, beautifully worked by Desmond Champong. That's Aforipo for 11 Wonders. Possession back to Akim Miller. Losing possession, Hartlepool. Juku to be pulled back by Akim Miller. There's a freaking advantage there to the Phobians.
There was quite a poor touch there from Akim Miller. You suspect something better from him. I think Kenneth Owusu-Boakye, with his experience, had to make that tactical foul, preventing Duku from advancing.
Karim, taken away from Karim here. 11 Wonders would like to set the attacking motion in play. Cross string to the far side and picking up a 23 shirt at Matthew Ponsa. Winning back possession lovely and out of play it is there. And able to pick up the pieces there, the goal scorer Maoli Wayo.
Very good defensive work there from Babata, who was expecting to pick up Maoli Wayo. But that ball is just not going to find him. He was always moving away from the path of Wayo.
Tell you what, 11 Wonders have only scored 14 goals in the season so far. The lowest in the Premier League. The ratio for their goal scoring per match is 0.63%. Again, really not.
That is not a decent return for you.
A goal every 2 matches then.
That's poor. And you cannot have a team to survive the season when you are that poor. With regards to converting your chances, and you watch them and you ask yourself, what is that problem? You expected them to come into the second round of the league, taking advantage of the window to get us a boost.
We have a cooling break here, and so 27 minutes of play. 11 Wonders nil, Hartlepool 1. Summation so far.
Well, I think that has been a very good start for the Phobians. They were quite decent. They've made sure that they've picked up on all the loose ends. And that has been very much interesting to see. Picking up on the scraps, making decent passes into the central midfield. But what is lacking is the final decision making. When they made a very decent one, they were able to score and convert.
And Manuel really trying to get the players to understand exactly what the tactical instructions is. And for 11 Wonders to change the way they've been pretty much defensive in terms of moving to Hartlepool areas. They haven't really tested goalkeeper Benjamin Asari. And Hartlepool has seen plenty of the ball just right in front of the penalty area of 11 Wonders. And at the moment they have been able to take advantage and getting things working out perfectly for them.
I think they've been overly cautious, a bit lethargic with the approach building from defense. And anytime you do that, the Phobians would always push you and make sure you make mistakes. The high press, quick press, giving them some difficulty.
Well, the transfer window really came out with a different dimension there for the Phobians. 11 Wonders not to make some signings there. Hartlepool couldn't?
They couldn't, all because of the transfer ban on them. They couldn't make changes. It's quite understandable. They clearly did it Dramani in a bit of difficulty.
Hussein trying to pick up Maoli Wayo. Lovely work there from Hussein, and Maoli Wayo picked up on the left hand side. Hartlepool keeping possession and Nixon Simple inviting Adamu, and also finds Ali Mohammed at the back. Benjamin Asari is also invited. The construction of their play and potentially trying to get something done, Hartlepool. And again, having Benjamin Asari just pushing up away from the penalty box to pick up the balls there and trying to press from defense to attack. Really change the narrative there for the Phobians as to have Harry Boateng trying to cut in here and again failing to take advantage.
Brilliant piece of play there from Atafolk from the defense, and you can see the goalkeeper starting everything, making that pass to the right inside. Emmanuel Amangwa. That ball tailor-measured. Boateng unfortunately miscued that. With his quick attempt to get the ball in as quickly as he could. When 11 Wonders don't do themselves any good, they've given it back to the Phobians easily.
Well, 11 Wonders have only kept 3 clean sheets, and Matthew Ponsa just charging forward here, right in front of the penalty box of Hartlepool. Again, his strike just been blocked by Adamu. Oh, lovely work there from Maoli Wayo, picking it up on the left hand side, and it is being clubbed by Edmond Aforipai. The Phobians will have Kareem Abdul trying to pick up Maoli Wayo once again. The goal scorer is already flagged offside.
That was a late pass there. He was expecting that ball to come from Hussein as quickly as he could, but it was a bit delayed, just an inch ahead of the defender there. He's quick, he's very rapid. I'm quite surprised the Phobians haven't capitalized on it to send the ball in much more quicker.
So half an hour gone already at the Legon Stadium. 11 Wonders nil, Hearts of Oak 1. There they have again the Phobians. Trying to keep the momentum and keep the pressure on here against 11 Wonders. They have a goal scored by Maliwayo Juku here for the Phobians once again. I came a bit into it at the defensive area. Juku keeping possession. Faisal Hussein charging on the left hand side. Hussein has got something of a slimy left and right foot there. He's able to wriggle his way away from defensive players. Ball sent to the far post once again for Harry Kweku Boateng, and it's been penalized there by the assistant referee.
That was clearly a badge into his man there. Quite surprised, Kweku Boateng decided to go in to the body of Desmond Achampo.
Again, he tried to find space and how to get the teams moving forward here at this particular area. One of the difficult moments there for that to do so is that 11 Wonders again haven't seen plenty of the balls right in front of the defensive shells of Hearts of Oak, and the penalty area of Hearts of Oak has been on holiday. They haven't had any difficult time dealing with it.
I think it's required discipline from them. Very quick passing. The inability of 11 Wonders to test goalkeeper Benjamin Asari speaks volumes. Though the Phobian defense hasn't been as resolute as you'd want to see. I think that has been a high point for the Phobians. They'll be satisfied at least.
11 Wonders certainly lost here. Ephraim Odru and Osman Zakaria, who were key members of their qualification, with Osman Zakaria giving an assist and scoring a winning penalty in their last playoff match against RTU. But again, they've lost some other players there, 11 Wonders. Very interesting here is that they still believe they can stay on in the Premier League.
Well, that is a very Herculean task for them. Almost unsurmountable. If any possibility of them staying in the league, these are the kind of matches they need to be winning at home and picking crucial points. It was quite a decent result from them last week in Bamdo. Even though they lost 1-0, the performance was creditable. But it's been a no-no. Quite disappointing in this opening half.
Well, that Adu has been trying to get the players a bit animated at the moment. Hasn't been the fluid football that he expects from his team. Tell you what, these Hearts of Oak side, a very strong side, but they did speak to them, and of course the coach also made his point there how they respect Hearts of Oak going into this game, and the Phobians are beginning to have themselves going forward and getting some of the goals. Benjamin Sari has been comfortable trying to play for the back there for Hearts of Oak. Abdul Karim has been again penalized here by the referee.
It looks to be a struggle for Hakim Mela, who's playing at right back. He's ordinarily a centre back or central defensive midfielder. You can see he's been in 6s and 7s on what decision he has to make to help his team. So I expect Hasselhoff to be plunging a lot more through that area, but that hasn't been the case.
No points up. Trying to get the run there of Harry Kweku Boateng, and there's been pushed away there by Desmond.
There's a brilliant pass there, but very quick interception from Desmond.
Yeah, physical game at the moment there for 11 Wonders. They're finding it difficult containing the pressure there from Hearts of Oak.
You can understand that was quite ruthless there. Desmond Tete too ragged in his approach. On Amankwa, he just shut target. There's no way the referee was going to allow that to go.
The last visit by Hearts of Oak here to 11 Wonders. We've seen them with a win, a defeat, and 2 drawn games played between the two. And we have a set piece to deal with Rafael Aposa behind the ball there for Hartlepool. On the ball to the far post, and Hardy would have to collect this one, just drop the ball down, and he's been able to collect it away from Kevin Osei-Sibe.
I don't think Hardy has had the best of games so far. He looked a bit jittery. I expect Hartlepool to take a lot more of the ball to him. When the goalkeeper loses confidence, that is when you need to be trying your luck from all angles, and especially with crosses close to the goalkeeper's area.
And Hardy again just not able to get the ball straight to the attacking players and hits it wide.
That's quite disappointing, quite a poor touch from Hardy. It's a bit more relaxed, casual towards the approach and clearing the ball from their defensive line. It's a goalkeeper a bit low on confidence this afternoon.
Aposa behind the ball here for Hartlepool. Corner kick advantage, the Phobians. Just behind the ball here, Aposa. And a very long play there to the far post, and it's been headed down by Osei-Sibe.
I think that was quite a good defensive work there coming from Kenneth Owusu-Boakye. Make sure that Sibe didn't have the leap he wanted freely. Put his body in the way to obstruct him.
The Phobians are ranked 8 in terms of current form for the last 5 matches and 8 points, scoring 2 and conceding 1 against Bejema Hartlepool. 2 balls on the pitch now, and one out to be kicked away. Just approaching the time. Again, you're trying to find a way how this opportunity will be given down to this Phobian side. They have an opportunity to win the Premier League. Well, the point being now between the two teams at the top there, very a difficult opportunity at all in terms of what they do, and the players just now there need attention. They won this.
Yeah, Desmond Tutu there in pain. He hasn't really seen so much of the ball down the left-hand side. He won his attack. We want to see him come better. There was an awkward drop there on his leg by Karim. You can see a bit of shoulder there, telling him, come on. Could have at least fallen off gently.
To both have the fans, you have the kids.
Catch them young.
Hats babies or hats?
Catch them young policy with regards to supporters.
Well, that's what they have currently, trying to give them an opportunity.
They're emulating the mother body. The mother body is doing catch them young referees.
Yeah.
That has been a decent, wonderful policy. And hopefully they want to catch their fans as young as they are, instilling them the Phobia spirit. Yeah. Hopefully in the next 10 years we'll be having a lot more of these coming to the stadium to support their darling club.
And make sure you have all of them coming in. We have all of them enjoy. But again, it's a very good policy to have them enjoy football very much early. So it's exciting to have the next generation loving football and watching it down the stadium, isn't it?
We would always want to be here. We would always want to see the next generation of stars. One in the future, you can have something to talk about. I once cheered on my darling club, Hartlepool. Sophia Samoa has been a bit missing from the game. He's playing right behind Rauf Muna. I think that is limiting him. We want to see him deep in midfield and create his acceleration and skill. Makes him an ideal central attacking midfielder for you.
50% of possession there against 47 for Living Wonders. Lineup there between the officials who are watching the game and loving every bit of it there. And our officials once again, the Dreams FC and Hartford managers just enjoying every bit of the football.
Yeah, two of the coaches who have already been sacked, Kasim Mingalo Kansi, Black Galaxy's coach, former coach of Nations FC, and Ahmed Tijani Bashir from Moho United. You know, sharing some.
His departure there was a bit shocking, isn't it?
It was quite surprising. It alarmed everyone who knew the rules of Moho.
Phobians now take advantage into the box there again. Quick defensive work. I guess with a champong, preventing Harry Watting from causing any havoc. Already he's tormenting them on the far side. And it tells you how you don't want to change the acceleration or not to remove the legs on the pedal. Still want to move higher and harder against Living Wonders.
He's been distant so far on the right-hand side of Hartford's attack, causing a lot of mayhem, putting himself in very crucial positions to get goals.
Oh, again Hartford would have a chance, and Adamu just with a header to near post. Raphael puts his header back into the goal post of Wonders and collected there by goalkeeper Hardy.
Desmond Teta once again to put his body right on the line to prevent that header from being on target. You can feel his pain there. That was a decent delivery from Kwekubuati. Rafael Amponsa expecting to at least head it back to Ali, who was just in front of the goalkeeper's area. Lots of questions being done by Emmanuel Adrian direction. You can see two of his brilliant players who have the skill and ability to maneuver any defense being spoken to.
Well, the passing of the Cash Day Young, Hartford supporters, the way they are enjoying every bit of the drums in the stands. Pinto Di Dramani is leading by a goal today. I was particularly not excited because we want to see plenty of the goals banging in for the Phobians. The 3-pointer stick there in terms of fouls there, 9 apiece.
Di Dramani may be comfortable. Ordinarily would have expected to see him standing. Kasina Jawisa, I'm sure the goalkeeper's trainer also doubles as their assistant. He's very much happy, he hasn't seen any sort of worry for his goalkeeper who's eventually been on a holiday.
Sent to the far side once again, just moving everybody, and Emmanuel Amankwa picking up for Hartford. Then comes Abdul Karim, back to Amankwa. Phobians keeping it quite neat and simple, just right in front of the penalty area. Once again, the half goalkeeper massive, pretty much form his goal area, trying to keep the balls into the path of Kwekubuati Henry. Duku and lifts the ball from Aliwayo for the second goal, and Aliwayo heads the ball wide. Good opportunity, Duku doing so well to locate Aliwayo.
Well, that was unselfish there from Duku. He found himself in a tussle with Osubuachi, managed to get past him. At that point, you'd expect him to take the volley, but Afurapo was right there. He made that quick ding. Wayo should be hitting the target from that point.
Hussein here finds Amposa. Rapid Amposa against Skies' effort. Hartford with two quick opportunities right in front of the penalty box of 11 Wonders, and yet again the surprise look on the face of the front there tells you just can't believe how Hartford could just trade away those chances.
That was a great opportunity. Kwekubuati to his right, Wayo to his left. You expect him to take his time and make that final pass.
Once again, the Phobians will have Kwekubuati. Yeah, they will have another opportunity just wasted. We're down with the 35 minutes of the first half and awaiting an extended time by the assistant referee. We had a signal from the referee for additional time. And again, it is Edu who begins to still trying to get the messages going out for the team.
You can understand him. He's a bit surprised and worried. Whatever they've worked on is not being applied.
Haterfoot just get the openings in front of 11 Wonders. Hussein takes the ball back on the left hand side. Hussein trying to cut in. They're pushed away by Hakim Miller for a corner kick.
That was a better approach for Haterfoot, going down from right to left, being expansive, making good use of the run of Hussein. That was a good block there from Edmond Afurapo, stepping in to make the right clearance, full corner kick.
2 minutes of additional time here at the Lagos Stadium. Corner kick there by Ponsan to the far post once again. Attacked by Kevin Osensibe. And he goes for a goal kick.
That's a good one there from Inspector Sibe to have it better, but once again also Boate putting Sibe in 2 minds.
From Haterfoot Duku, returned there by Duku to Kevin and Harry Boateng, intercepted by 11 Wonders. Now they try to charge forward. Quality of work by 11 Wonders means that they want an equalizing goal before the break and trying to get more men forward here. Charging here is Osensibe winning it.
Full pass there, was looking for the run of Desmond Champon and Tete. They couldn't quickly find their way.
And Abdul Karim and Hussein Icharo on his way away from his man is being quickly mopped up beautifully there by Edin Samoa. Hakim Miller here for Wonders. Megan Mauliwayo. Wayo now picking the pieces up for Haterfoot. Phobia to have Amponsa. Well, the referee Mauli George Vumawo ends proceedings for the first half. Haterfoot with the first goal scored in the 8th minute there by Mauli Wayo, and the Phobians need the 3 points at least to put a bit pressure on Kotoko Bitiema on the Premier League table. Benjamin Sarri so far so good for him in the first 45 minutes.
Quite a very decent performance from Haterfoot, in as much as he hasn't been busy. Let's make sure he pushes the team from their build-up, from defense to midfield and get into attack. That is so intelligent of a goalkeeper. And is showing by example the reason why he's a leader. The Phobians have been dominant. Unfortunately, they haven't been as clinical as you would expect.
At halftime here at the Lagos Stadium, 11-1 is Dale. Haterfoot 1. We're back for the second half.
It's our time here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. 11 Wonders are down by a goal to nil. Haterfoot leading them by 1 goal, scored by Mauliwayo somewhere in the 8th minute. And I've been joined by the goalkeeper's trainer of Haterfoot, Najao Isa. Najao, first 45 minutes done and dusted. Your team leading by a goal to nil. That quick goal, I've seen Haterfoot put pressure on the opponent, especially in the first 10 minutes. Is this something that you constantly practice in training?
Yes, Mutala, that is our style of play. The moment we watch the opponent, then we strategize who to press, who. So it's exactly what we train on. That is why you see the boys doing it to perfection.
Of course. Now, it looks like after the goal, you took your foot off the gas a bit.
Well, it's not that we take off our foot, but set games are very difficult to play. But it's good that we have an early goal so that we can calm ourselves down and then play our normal football. But I think that we need to take the right decisions and to up front. Once we make the right decisions up front, I think we can get a second goal.
Well, thanks very much, Najao Issa, the goalkeepers trainer of Heart of Folk. There, they are leading by a goal to nil. It's still the Ghana Premier League here on TV3 and on Nuya TV. My name is Mutala Yakubu. We'll take a quick breather. When we return, Duke will join me for the first half analysis. Adisa Production Limited. It's 11 Wonders against Heart of Oak in match day 20 here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, and Heart are leading by a goal to nil. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Duke is back here. Heart of Oak, it only took them 8 minutes to open the scoring, and that was a typical striker's goal from Maoli Wayo.
Absolutely, you give him that because he was as cool as ice when he got the ball. A typical Ghana Premier League striker's first inkling would have been to shoot the ball at the first instance, but he took his time, did the body swerve, ensured that he had totally taken the defender out of the equation, took his time, looked at the position of the goalkeeper, and then just placed the ball wonderfully. So typical strikers go wonderful. Big ups to Maoli Wayo for that calmness. You hardly see that calmness in the Ghana Premier League.
You might say all you want to say about the goal, but it is that composure, the ability to hold on and not take the shot the first time.
That's the difference.
That is the magic.
That's the difference.
That is something that Heart of Oak have been lacking from their strikers.
Yeah, because you have the Heart of Oak strikers. There is that eagerness to score, because the team doesn't score a lot of goals. So when they have those opportunities and those clear-cut chances, and the way they play, you don't create so many chances. Even this game, of entire 45 minutes, I can count just about 3 clear-cut chances, out of which Maoli has been able to buy one. The other one was what he just headed over the pole. So when they get those chances, they are eager to score, and that's what. So it's actually very, very much to the credit of Maoli that he took his time, did the body swerve, took the defender out of the picture, and that was the game changer.
And Heart of Oak have been session for that second goal. But after that one, it looks like 11 Wonders, also stepped up their game a bit, but they've not been able to test Benjamin Asari thanks to the Heart of Oak backline of Osasibe and of course Ali Mohammed.
Yeah, and I did mention actually they don't play that poorly. If you look at the likes of Matthew Amponsa,
their game is encouraging.
Frank Boateng, the ball distribution, but it's always that lack of final bite, that inexperience in Rauf Mamuna, and that that final factor that they do not have, and that's what really actually worried them, because there were times where House of Folk would play the game, they would play the ball at the back so many times that they would run into mistakes, but they can't punish them. So that's really been the story of the day for 11 Wonders. Play the ball very nicely in the middle of the park, but when they get to the final third, it's either inexperience or it's either that eagerness, and they're not able to, and they haven't been able to create any clear-cut chance, irrespective of the beautiful distribution and the passing of the ball around. And actually, I'll blame Heart of Oak, because after the first 10 minutes, the transition became very slower. The 2 players in midfield, the one on the left side, that is Hussein, the one on the right side of me, that's Karim, was supposed to take the ball fade across into that final third, have actually been very slow, and they're not actually playing very directly, trying to create the chances in the middle of the park. They are always looking for the outlet on the right flank, which is Henry, and Henry hasn't been very direct. He's always trying to cut in, even though it was his assist that got the ball to Maoli to get that goal. He's really running around in space, trying to create the opportunities, and that has been very difficult for Heart of Oak. So for me, they need to be, if they're looking for a second goal, they need to be quicker in transition.
Well,
that is
the first half has been a good one for Heart of Oak. They are leading, but let's go through the statistics for that first half. We know that Heart of Oak have been very dominant. There you have it, 51% of possession as against 11 Wonders, 49. 1 goal for Heart of Oak, 2 shots for 11 Wonders, and 4 for Heart of Oak, 1 each on target, and 4 corner kicks to the Phobians, to 11 Wonders is 1. 9 fouls committed each by these teams. No yellow cards in the first half, no red card in the first half, but Heart of Oak have been very, very potent, especially creating chances, and it looks like it's a clear game plan. They are playing all their balls directly to the right-hand side where Henry is.
And that's problematic for me, because if you look at of the 2 wingers, I see Maoli is sharper. And Maoli has that, for me, he's much more experienced and sharper. And he's even, when it comes to even technical dexterity, I think he's better than Henry. But for some reason, I don't know what the video analyst of Heart of Oak have seen on that left side of 11 Wonders. But anytime they are looking for an outlet on the flanks, they go right, instead of coming left to Maoli to try and do a few tricks. And he's a bit more direct than Henry on that side. Maybe they should try that, because today, he is their most threatening player, but he hasn't been given he's not giving the ball.
What do you think the presence of Henry, or the style of play of Henry and Maoli Wayo, is the reason why Frank Aburaduko seemed to be on the periphery up front? Because it's like he's been isolated, not really in the game.
Two reasons. First of all is because Haas is playing a lot more through the flanks than through the middle. Emmanuel Boateng and I think Rauf, the holding midfielders for 11 Wonders have done a good job of trying to prevent Hussein end Karim from carrying the ball through the middle of the park. And the middle of the park is where you are the arrowhead. So it's either they are playing through the middle of the park to serve you the balls, or you have wingers who are crossing. And I mean, from the style of play of Accra Hearts of Oak, their wingers usually do not do that. Whether it's Kakari, whether it's Mauli, whether it's Henry, whether it's even when they play this former Gold Stars chap on the
Prince
Kwabnose on the right, they are always trying to cut in and get the balls through. So he has had to come back most of the time. And Frank Abura-Duku relies more of his height to be heading the balls and more of his strength. He's not very good technically gifted when it comes to footwork and his hold-up play, and that is what actually has done him in.
Now, a second goal will be like a sucker punch to, I mean, 11 wonders. How should Hearts of Oak set up, especially in the second half? Should there be a change in personnel up front? Because in the middle and at the back, they've not had enough troubles.
Okay, so we are waiting for that confirmation, but we hear that
we are hearing that Hamza Issa is coming on from Frank Abura-Duku. Do you think it's a good substitution made by...
I think so, because if they are going to play the same way they played in the first half, then Abura-Duku is not going to get those services. And his hold-up play is not the best. If you compare the two strikers, Hamza has got a better hold-up play than Frank Abura-Duku. So definitely he's the other one. And apart from that, if his hold play is good, he can still be creating chances for the likes of Mauli, even Hussein, and even Karim to come in from there. So for me, I think it's the right thing to do, especially when Hearts have decided that they will be playing through the flanks. And a bit of advice to Kodidi, if you take my advice, he should try and get his midfielders to spread the ball.
I'm sure he's watching from the dressing room, so he's actually hearing everything that you're saying.
Across both flanks, and not just on the right, especially with Maulu, who's proving that he can also be as deadly as Henry on the left, yes.
But it's becoming a general problem for most typical number 9s when you're playing with wingers who would love to cut in on their left or right and shoot. Is this something that is changing, or is it the era we are in?
The game is changing. You see, a lot of the coaches, if they explain to you the way they set up their teams, they are not setting up their teams with a striker and two wingers. No, they have 3 strikers up front. So it's a 4-3-3. They have a left-sided striker, a middle striker, and then so all of them are strikers.
Even this,
so you don't expect
typical number 10 is no longer in the game. It doesn't exist
he's either
anymore.
Playing in the hole behind the two, or even the one playing that free role.
Second half
so the game has changed.
Yeah, it has changed completely, and the second half is starting pretty shortly because the teams are back onto the pace. So I hand you over back to our team of commentators, Benjamin Willie Graham and Kelvin Owusu, as I see you after 90 minutes.
Well, we are back with the second half with the Hearts of Oak leading by a goal to nil. 11 Wonders looking to get the equalizing goal as quick as possible. We're changing the direction with Hearts of Oak with a withdrawal over Hussein. And introduction, well, the introduction over Hamza Issa and the withdrawal over Frank Duku. Hearts of Oak making the first change there. 2 changes they've made so far.
Well, it looks more like a like-for-like substitution because Asma coming in to replace Hussein Mohammed. And then Hamza Issa filling in for the gap that has been left by Frank Duku. It looks more like Duku wasn't really being fed, and Didi has realized there's quite a lot of spaces in between the 11 Wonders defense, so why don't I bring a more mobile player?
Well, so first change to be made there by Hearts of Oak. 2 changes. And so the second half here, we have it at the Legon Stadium. 45 minutes of yet another grueling and exciting game between the two sides.
We expect that 11 Wonders will start this half on a very positive note, trying to bombard the Phobians with the attack right from the start and be a bit more prudent with their decision making. But they couldn't make that prudent decision making in the first attempt to the final bit.
Here we go, Hearts of Oak without the first opportunity as they go with Henry Kukubuateng trying to wriggle his way around 2 players. And again, it's been Sesibe working hard at the back there for the Phobians, Ali Mohammed, Abdullah Potsa.
That's brilliant play there from Hearts of Oak to escape the press from 11 Wonders. He started with goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, so calm on the ball and make sure that his passes always gives the team a breather from pressure from opponents.
Now Now they have a chance to strike here, Hartlepool. And that was Aissa's first attempt and his first touch on the ball there since his introduction to the game there, just in the penalty box of 11 Wonders trying to hit the half volley. And Hartlepool do have a concern at the moment.
So that was quite a very decent block coming in from Roberto before he putting his body on the line to make the clearance, preventing Issa from having a decent touch. Akwesi Asma has come off to the blow. Look at that delivery. Once again, Adamu Issa took it on the first attempt. But before he was never going to allow him to have a free hit. The Matthew Mpunza had to do the rest of the work. Oh, these little ones don't care. Their side are in the lead.
Yeah. Now they also have to bring in a change there. Desmond Tete, who just signed for the club, he's also been withdrawn. And he'll be taken over there by Felix Akolo.
Akolo is very much experienced. He's mobile, he's workaholic. We expect him to go down the left-hand side for 11 Wonders with a lot of pace and the weapon, a lot more crosses trying to find Ralph Muna.
There's a man at the back and man in the defensive lines will have to go very brilliantly. And the Phobias still trying to get the second goal in the second half.
Okay, that was a poor touch coming in there from Henry Kwekubuate. Should have been much more of a decent touch. So you might be playing thinking, George Paco is injured. If I do my very best, I could be in charge of this position for a very long time. Even when I return, the coach will have headache. He's selecting who plays. Paulo once again getting the better laugh against Akim Mela. Mela struggling, playing as a right back.
Sibay to Ali Mohammed. They have partnered brilliantly for the Phobians. They have been the most solid defensive partners or pair in the league now, and the offside flag has already gone up for a bit of a foul there against Hamza Issa.
Issa went in with the elbow, a badge into his man.
Mondes, a call here. Points up. Hartlepool will have to go see the corner kick. Short on to themselves there by Emmanuel Manfa. And the goal boy just being talking to there by the referee there. I'm not too sure what really happened.
I think John Foma was telling him, when you catch the ball, just keep it on the cones. That's exactly what this one has done. You don't have to hold the ball, leave it on the cones for the players.
Mondes. Very poor play there from Ralph Muna. He's got 2 goals and the referee really seemed to have a player booked there. The whistle had already gone and Muna has been, he's the first player to have his name taken there. I think for dissent.
I think it was for a high foot there, trying to go the acrobatic way. I think that was quite a poor decision from him. His first touch letting him lose. And he knows that as a first line of defense, for 11 Wonders will be going in. Tackles should have acted better.
He's got 2 goals against Dreams FC. Muna. Smart. So being penalised there with a foul. 11 Wonders haven't really been wonderful at all in the Premier League. They have struggled in the Premier League this season, and they are out to play some of their most exciting footballs, but that is about the composure and the ability to take advantage. Now Muna here, Akolo. The best So passing there by the both team with back possession, are calling out, giving the ball straight to the captain. As he's trying to see if he can get the ball into the box, and it's been treated by Hartlepool. That's a very, very silly foul there against Wayo by Obed.
Yeah, that was quite nasty there from Obed Ofori. He went in for the man. Another ball. Wayo had his eyes just on the ball. Obed going hard behind him, trying to claim innocence, but he knows exactly what he's done, and he's not going to escape the wrath of the referee.
Again, it's Obed Ofori on a yellow card. So two players of level 1 have had their names taken there by referee Omaha. Trying to run away from the action, not want to see the referee showing the card to him. And again, it's already been given.
It's a silly yellow card to take.
Again, Hartlepool with a good chance now to get a second. Mauli Wayo, and now there's a very poor play there from Hartlepool. Ahmed Isa. And Hamza Isa just not able to tap in with a yawning net right in front of him, and Hartlepool just again flapping another good opportunity, and the scoreline still remains 11-1 is nil. Hartlepool 1.
It's quite shocking there. Would expect him to tap in that one, virtually laid on a plate for him, but he's wasted it. It's easy to score than to miss. From the goalkeeper's area.
Now here they go again, and then Kofi Asamoah back to just want to jump balls ball into the box. Wandes having plenty of possession right now in front of Hartlepool's penalty area. And Phobia as well to break quickly. Back to captain, Boateng, Emmanuel Boateng. Throwing quickly would have be affected by Desmond Champong. Here comes a follow here for Wandes. Ball again into the box has been cleared by FCSB. Hamza Isa. Again, it's been a little bit of scrappy play there, but Hamza Isa is able to pick the pieces there for Hartlepool. Was trying to link up play due to Wayo. Cleverly intercepted by 11 Wandes. And here comes a bit of Corey. Just picked up a yellow card a while ago. It was close in every gap there in the midfield. Hartlepool can so not really let 11 Wandes the opportunity to make any move at all. Ball sent into the right hand side. And again, just eluding everybody, marking up was unable to deal with it.
Decision making has been poor. They looked a bit better, a lot more agency in their play this second half. So given Hartlepool a bit of problem, some worries.
Wayo Asma. Sibi. Towering header from him. Karim Abdul has been dragged from behind there. Ralph Buna is already on a yellow card. Should be careful not to incur the wrath of the referee for another yellow card. That means he's going to be sent up, but sure he knows exactly what to do.
One player who's already on the yellow card and even begged hurt. He needs to be careful. You can see him still causing confusion.
Hartlepool's highest win against 11 Wanderers was back in 2022, where Salim Adams, Sophia Barnier, and Kofi Koji lost on the score sheet there when they beat them by 4-1. They won their first leg over 11 Wanderers with a slim margin, 1-0 after Enokosi Boateng's 18-minute strike there. So still Wanderers nil, Hartlepool 1. The Phobians once again on the left, and another 4-inch clearance.
Tamu has been very brilliant. He's parading around down the left-hand side of Hartlepool's attack. It's been very much impressive. We'd want to see a lot more of that. The cutback, Didi making that complaint. Why not go direct with the ball into the goalkeeper's area?
Corner kick taken, and again Hartlepool would have opportunity to get the ball into the box, and again it's Mauli Wayo was going with the overhead kick there. And it's Easy play there from Hartlepool once again in the second half.
Poor communication between Wayo and Hamza Issa. Couldn't pick up on who supposed to be on the end of that delivery.
Kovians once again on the roof. There's a cut back there from Hartlepool. Kovians have scored 9 goals in the last 5 matches against 11 Wonders. Played 5 league games at the University of Ghana Stadium, the Premier League. The Kovians once again to the far post. And Henry Boateng just able to pick up the ball here.
Quite too much of a heavy delivery. Let's see, suspended assistant coach.
Yeah, I was shown a red card in a match against BTMIC back in Sakwa.
Loving what is our back to how they started playing. In the first half, they're losing balls easily.
Again, the Kovians not done yet. I want to see yet another goal here. They need to cement the 3 points, and I just love the energy of this young Kovians.
They're enjoying the game, especially when the side are in the lead. Would want to see a lot more, but so far, since they haven't been pegged back, they'll rejoice.
Muna here, and again Sensibe, it's always the best when it comes to defending his lines there, able to let things go freely. And yet another ball to the left hand side for Mauliwai to pick it up. Here comes Wayo, just right in front of him is Rafael Aponsa, and Jonathan Foy is able to pick up the pieces here, but Hartlepool quickly winning back possession. Going to apply the pressure here on 11 Wonders. The Kovians want to move forward here. Here comes Henry Boateng. Everyone is now have to pick things up. Taking it up here and switching play down the left hand side and looking for the round there of Desmond Champon, but Ali Mohammed read is pretty brilliantly. He's already cleared it for Hartlepool.
Very good offensive work there from Ali Mohammed, reading in between the lines, making sure he covered the absence of Emmanuel Amankwa, who had surged forward.
Again, another opportunity for 11 Wonders to drag in this ball into the box. Throw in, be thrown down by Hakim Miller. Mayo's clearance back to Hakim Miller, but allow the ball to roll off the baseline for a throw in. Get picked up by Matthew Ponsa. Back to Hakim Miller here for 11 Wonders. Hartlepool consider throwing here, Asma. His intention was to whip possession there for the Kovians. Into the box. Dragged in here. Sibe's header. Back to Collie. And again, it's striking very feeble.
Well, notice favorite foot there, Akolo. Leo Munaf was going to get onto the end of that, but once there was no space for him, he had to take that strike from the half volley.
Sibe.
I think Ezebe needs to be careful. It looks a bit more casual in the press room. Raouf on him. Has been a bit consistent this second half. We would have to rethink.
Now we're going here at the Legon Stadium. 11 Wonders nil, Hartlepool 1. Match day 20 of the Ghana Premier League. Wonders continue to sink deeper and deeper on the Premier League table. Another defeat means that they are still firmly rooted at the bottom. And wouldn't be a fair decision in terms of what they are expected to do. Ali Mohammed here for Artifok. Trying to get the ball to the left-hand side to be picked up by Adamu. And Akim Miller would have to come in there to stop his runs there on the left-hand side.
It's quite interesting what we've seen so far. We want to see a lot more of progress.
Here first goal is in. He's coming in to replace Rafael Ponsa. And again, we do have Artifok also pulling out Mauliwayo. And there's introduction of Martin Kakari.
The fresh legs.
Yeah, fresh father. Responsibility still stayed out of the team, but now he's back. And Wonders giving the ball away. And Artifok will have the first opportunity with Martin Kakari's first touch. Ball swung in here. The phobia to want to hit one. And Zasma with the first shot here, but was it a handball call? Or the phobias were looking for that?
I think that was poor decision making. I expect Artifok to be getting that one into the net. But good defensive work there coming from 11 Wonders. Roberto Fori getting right in the way of that effort.
Get a ball. And again, they spilled and Artifok have an opportunity for the second goal. And too many players fluffing opportunity. And this time it's been batted home for the second. And just as he was introduced into the game, Martin Kakari gets the second for Artifok. Poor defensive clearance. Poorly done by 11 Wonders. And the Phobians will say a big thank you. And Martin Kakari will give the goal to his baby who just came to the world in 2025.
And that's quite disappointing way of handling the ball there from goalkeeper Obey Hadi. But credit to Hamza Issa and Martin Kakari put to themselves the right place at the right time to knock that one home. In the midst of goal-mouth release, you need your players to be ever present and aware. Artifok capitalizing on the weakness of the 11 Wonders. Showstopper, who flubbed that save, the initial cross, a drive. And once it fell to Kakari, who hasn't scored Ghana Premier League goal in a little over 2 seasons. He's made amends and you could see the joy on his face. Looks like the Phobians will be going home with all 3 points.
So the Phobians up by 2-0. And it's been about their defensive weakness, and that is what is gifting the goals there for Artifok.
Okay, there are a lot more from this 11 Wonders team. To be a bit more clinical, to a bit more direct, a bit more intentional and prudent decision making. Seem to be lacking those elements in the game that will let the team come up very good. Perhaps if you don't mind, once you're off the quality that is expected from you, they only care about scoring. They have 2 goals to protect and a clean sheet to go home with. As it looks certain, they'll be carrying home all the 3 points. And there's still more time for them to score a lot more.
There's a good opportunity now for Artifok to see the performance on the Premier League log. is a very good play there for the Phobians once again. In terms of what they want to do, and there might be an opportunity there for Wonders to cool things down. They also have to make changes, and then quickly they have to cool out Hakim Miller for Hamza Musa. And also playing a part now is another team shirted Albert Frimpong coming to plays Matthew Mpotsa.
Matthew has been less impactful in this game. And Hamza Musa, one of the new signings, making an entry to replace Mela. Mela has had quite pretty cool, game. And I was talking about him being moved from his favorite central defensive position. He was always going to find it difficult. That is what has played out.
You talked about the performance of Hearts of Oak, and again, if they are able to get this clean sheet, what does it make to the confidence of Benjamin Asari?
Well, he's ever confident. He's always shown that confidence, and it even gives him that more control, keeps him more relaxed. Continues to strengthen his position and shout for Ghana's top spot in the Black Stars.
Yeah, that will be exactly 5 points separating the GMIS in Hearts of Oak, who currently moved to second with 2 goals here. Martin Katari with that chance there, hit on the Rico foot on the right. The GMI with 40 points, Hearts of Oak now 35 points. The Vienna Gold Stars third with 33, with Vienna Stars fourth with 32, and Kotoko fifth with 32 points. Sorry, we're always going to have this one very easy catch for him.
Well, that's the first time in the game he's actually come out of his goalkeeper's area in an attempt to catch the ball. All the times he came out to make passes as House of Oak started their build-up.
So it will be a very disappointing display there from 11 Wonders. Always that day, a defeat here changes everything about the team's performance in the Premier League. That would have been their 16th defeat in the Premier League after 20 matches. Interesting there for 11 Wonders. They have lost 15 of the games and only 9 points. They've got 3 games and they've lost 1-2 of their matches, but lost 15 prior to this match, and so the game ends there and they are not able to come back into the game. That means 16 defeats there in the Premier League. This will be House of Oak's 10th win in 20 games.
That is quite a good 10. A very good 10. Not so much impressive. We'd want to see them win a lot more matches. For the points they've dropped, the number of clean sheets they've had, and goalless draws.
Again, it's Hearts of Oak who are not done yet with 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. The Phobians home and dry, at least for now. Just have to say they want to keep it neat and simple there with Eden Kufia somewhere here for Wonders. Now possession picked up. Yeah, Eden Wonders. You want to play her down with a concern. That's another point. Another cooling break here, and so we're just about 19 minutes to go. What's your impression, Kelvin?
After fucking firm control of the game, they could easily add a lot more goals, and everyone else are still struggling to put the pieces together. Having interesting patches of brilliant play from them. But in the final third, the decision making has been unimpressive. Emmanuel Boate was expected to link up the midfield and the attack, but he hasn't really been at his best. See Emmanuel Edu telling his team he needs a lot more urgency in their play, but they don't want to deviate from their key principles in building up calmly from defense into midfield and into the attack, finding the right. It's at the right time, and you can see from Raouf making that appeal to Akolo. I need the ball early. Hadi Obiri will be felt, hard done by. He let loose a decent ball that should have been easily repelled by Wonders. And that resulted in Martin Kakari's goal.
We're back to start the game here after the cooling break. Martin Kakari's goal clearly gives the Fulvians a major boost here as they try to go back again to see if they can get another goal. Some West balls being clipped beautifully there by Baba Devil. Here comes Asma. The Fulvians, ball cleared by Double. Looking for the run there of Harry Watting, who now has possession now for Hartlepool, dragging his team into the box, and possession lost by the Fulvians. Ball one away from Hamza Issa, and finally trying to ping the ball right in front of the penalty area. Comes in the captain, Emmanuel Boateng. Now, and Boateng once again. Level one, this pinging the ball and spreading play down the left-hand side, looking for Kolo here has been picked up. Control brilliantly on the charge on the left there. There's Emmanuel Boateng looking for some bit of space to shoot, but just tackles the ball straight to Asma Boateng. And still 11 wonders. Not overawed by the fact that they're down by 2-0, but again looking for at least a consolation. That would be so nice. Ball whipped in, and Akolo goes in with a header, but it's been denied the opportunity there by Sibe. Kakari. Collison also playing a part in this game and trying to make sure Hartlepool are neat and tidy at the back. Fulvia sits in deep down. Muna, Boateng, and Corey. And again, a good header here. Brilliant header by Aiden.
That was a very good connection to the ball by Kofi Asamoah, but not a ball that would beat Benjamin Asari. It's just directed at him. We'll be glad to pick these up any day. It was the second time, only the second time in the game Benjamin Asari is being tested. He's virtually been on a holiday.
Down to last quarter of an hour here at the Legon Stadium, and still the Fulvians who currently lead by 2-0 against 11 Wonders. Just introduction to the game, and he's able to get the goals there for Hartlepool.
We'd want to see him carry the ball a lot more, create a lot of chances, run at the defense of 11 Wonders and give Hartlepool some brilliant creativity in the attack.
Still trying the best there. Hamza Issa here for Hartlepool. Good turn, beautiful play, and goes to ground. Is that going to be a penalty? Yes, it is there for Hartlepool. Hamza Issa clipped from behind, and Hartlepool have been gifted yet another opportunity to increase the tally to 3.
It's going to come from all that clever touch from him. He's fast, he's pacey. That dummy came tearing away from substitute Hamza Musa. Once he stuck out that leg, clipped his left foot. And with his momentum, he was always going to fall, and that was clearly inside the penalty area. Good call from Mauli Vomo. You see the frustration of Emmanuel Adu.
Very worrying situation there for Emmanuel Adu, who wasn't really expecting the team to play this shambolic in the second half, and he's got assist.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Calvin Osesi being out to make it 3-0 for Hartlepool. Always being a man almost on a discipline and very much focused. Osesi it's 3-0. Goalkeeper sent the wrong way. Hartlepool with a third goal, and the clean sheet probably will be coming there for Benjamin Asari, but it is Calvin Osesi slotting home beautifully the penalty there, and the Phobians kind of fought to case of star there. Benjamin Asari with a celebration. 11 wonders nil, Hartlepool 3.
Definitely this back penalty. Obey Hadi was quick to his left, but Asimo was always going to put that ball to his right. Beautiful penalty. Calmly rolled into the net. That's a resounding lead for Hartlepool. At this time, there seems to be no way for 11 Wonders. The only thing that can come into the game for them is trying to salvage for themselves the consolation in breaking the clean sheet of Hartlepool.
Again, Martin Takari is just coming into a possession. Phobians really are playing one of the most exciting games in the Premier League after the draw against Dreams FC. They're getting to score. Again, sums up the plan there of their coach, Di Dramani, who said they're going to exploit the weakness of 11 Wonders to get the goals there. I believe the team has done exactly that.
We're always going to struggle in this game against Hartlepool, and Di Dramani quite knew 11 Wonders so well, and the areas they could capitalize, and he's done that to perfection. That's quite a nasty challenge there from SCB. He's just coming back from suspension. Like a needless challenge.
I'll tell you what, he was able to get the free kick, another cut. And that'll be a little bit exciting there for Wonders to see what they can do. Oh, they organized as well pretty well there. Sorry. The ball into the far post now, and clearly and well defended by the Phobians. So we are approaching the last 10 minutes of the game. 1-0, Hartlepool 3.
This is arguably the worst performance we've seen. From the 11 Wonders team ever since Emmanuel Adu took over. Seem a bit disjointed in midfield, listless in attack. Defensively, they haven't really kept that organization.
Issa was the target there. Screen and pass there from Martin Kakari. Flags never going to go up one offside against Buda.
He hasn't received the services he wants. We're running into empty spaces. And whenever the pass is made, it's either he's tapped too early or too late. The kind of way strikers would want to operate, and it's forced him into committing fouls, just like he's done. Frustrated afternoon for Ralph Muna.
Hook beginning to introduce Cephas Sabote into the game to replace Kweku Boateng Henry. Well, that's been a game plan there from Coach Masudi Jamani, trying to keep it compact and tidy there for the Phobians. Not ready to lose any possession there, to concede possession there to 11 Wonders. Sabote Cephas coming in. And you mentioned the Hearts of Oak's ability to make new signings due to the ban by FIFA. The Phobians will continue to find space and lurk around and see what they can do here. Referee spotting a foul here against Akolo.
No quite a relief there. The referee quickly needs to get Not a lot of deficiencies being identified in the Wonders team. They have only 8 minutes to at least get a goal for themselves. At this point in time, I'm not being a prophet of doom, but I think they have no chances of surviving in the league.
Comes Wonders, taking him out of Boateng, flag up on offside. Just whipped him beautifully there by a bit of Fori, but not at best.
Once again, that's when the champion making that run down the left hand side. Number Boateng made that pass too early, but the champion was trying to get back into position to receive the pass. Ali Mohammed once again stepping out quickly to keep his man offside.
Good ball here for the Phobians to see if they can get the forward. And again, it's been cleared away by 11 Wonders. Approaching 6 minutes of the game at the Legon Stadium. Quality there from Abdul Karim. Oh, lovely work here from Hearts of Oak. And here they come again to see if they can put some of the pressure there on the defensive line of 11 Wonders as they push forward the Phobians in time. On the best of attacking play there by the Phobians once again. Ball conceding defeat there to possession, I should say, to Wonders 48-52. Reflection of how the two teams have played so far, isn't it? 11 Wonders now just close up to the 18-yard box. Hearts of Oak player want to take advantage.
Very good run from Always Champo. Got himself beautiful left foot, trying to steal his way away from Kosi Asma. And he the danger approaching. And he stuck out a leg to make that clearance. Hearts of Oak not ready to concede a consolation.
Corner kick taken once again, grabbed by Captain Benjamin Asari. Again, is the safest player of Hearts for the Phobians, and that brings to the discussion about the solid goalkeeping department of Hearts of Oak. They have Suleiman Agbashi, always keeping a clean sheet for the Phobians as well. The only time he conceded was the match against Mediama SC, and with the return of Asari, he's kept relatively a very great profile there for the Phobians, and they get with the Black Stars, and Ralph Muna, good chance, and the flag already gone up for an offside. The last 5 minutes and stoppage time here to go at the Legon Stadium. Hearts of Oak leading comfortably by 3-0.
Well, quick turn there from Rauf, but Eden Kofi Asamoah is just ahead of everyone, including the ball. With only Benjamin Asari to be, the flag had already gone. It was a feeble effort. Ghana's number 1.
Well, so the confirmation of the scoreline here, 11 Wonders nil, Hearts of Oak 3.
The rest of the minutes going to be a casual walk in the park for Hearts of Oak, unless they want to inject some urgency and get a fourth, which looks like they are going to do.
charging here. Turns beautifully. Osesibe on him. Turns on the right. Looking for space. Finds it. There's someone turning now down to Frimpong. Left foot there. Imana Boateng captain. Looking to drag the ball to left hand side once again. One there skipping and trying to construct something down in front of the penalty box of Nantifolk. Not in a hurry at least. They might be on to get out the bullet. Consolation goal, and Kenneth not sure we should give the ball away, and she's 1v1 here. Hamza Issa turns beautifully, pitches man Hamza Issa, and again shoots wide. Again he had Hamza Musa to deal with, so Hamza Issa on the ball on the offensive, and defending was Hamza Musa.
Issa with a very good touch, getting past his man. I want him to be able to hit the target. Musa caused the penalty. He wasn't ready to commit himself to making an early challenge. And Issa should have done better in it.
It was Issa against Musa.
Good run. We were in the sequence for the last goal when Musa brought down Issa for the penalty.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant there. Someone here against Ali Mohammed. He's been played by two good players, and Demo and Ali Mohammed trying to explain that they are to be probably showing innocence there, but to the final minutes of the game. Some seconds to go here at the Lagos Stadium after book. Just looking tidy at that moment. Then comes Frimpong as we're not just going into control. After book we have to clear the lines. Abdul Karim and
calm on the ball, calm, intelligent. There's no need to rush.
Here comes Martin Kakari, goes through beautifully. And again, he's been flagged offside once again.
Assistant referee delayed a bit. He wanted to be very mature. Pass delayed. Martin Kakari was expecting that one to be hit. Hamza Issa. They had been 2 seconds away of the start of the run. Kakari could have been offside. Put it up, offside. David Ramani will be very much happy with what he's seen today. The team taking advantage of the few chances they've created. Though they could have been 5-0 winners. 2-0 is quite a respectable scoreline for a team that has the burden of converting their chances.
Well, you talk about the Phobians once again. They are the lowest ranked scoring team so far in the league. But they have also conceded 7 goals.
That is a typical characteristic of a Didi Dramani team.
They are doing 4 minutes of extra time here at the Legon Stadium to confirm. Folk comfortably leading and excitingly. Still not done yet and looking for more. Asma go through here. 14 goals they've scored and 7 goals they've conceded after Folk. Beginning goal stars who 6th in the Premier League goal. Long have scored 19 goals and conceded 20. Now Buna here. Also sensible to be Ali Mohammed charging on the other side. Buna dragging the ball to the right. Takes it here. Aiden with Yasamoah looking for a place to shoot at Yasamoah. And again, Collison for the block. Session giving straight down to 19 Sheriff and Pong. Advancing there to Wonders. Kofi Asamoah once again into the crossbar. Unexpected drive there from him. Here comes the foul.
That was an unfortunate miss by Kofi Asamoah. Quick throw in. Took the 10. Was aiming for the top corner. Did Asari have any touch onto that? No. Just aiming for that acute angle. Difficult to score.
When you talk about teams with the most goals scored in the Premier League, Medema 27 goals and have conceded 11. Gold Stars 19 goals and conceding 20. Nigeria Stars with 18 goals scored with 12 goals conceded. Asante Kotoko scoring 24 goals and conceding 11. Somerset with 14 goals and conceding 10. That's a book to a fewer number of goals scored so far. Conceded fewer goals as well. They have only conceded 7 goals in the Premier League out of the 19 of the 20 games played in the Premier League. So with 3 goals scored, Hasselberg would have as many as 17 goals scored.
You would be expected a lot more. The 20 games at least. It should be a game seeing a goal out of all the 20 games. And you run it and that is not what it looks like. Less than a goal expected and actually recorded in every single game they played.
That was a free kick advantage now to 11 Wonders.
Someone once again with this Collison combining with Baba Tamu.
Nice opportunity now for the Phobians.
That second goal.
Yeah.
Obey Hardy making a fluff of that. Giving his team away early inside the second half. So he'll go back to rule, considering that goal.
Good ball into Hasselberg's penalty area. And just again. Interestingly, the 4 minutes by the time is already up here. And this match day 20 game before the match. 11 Wonders and Hasselberg were tied in terms of the number of goals scored, but Hasselberg have scored 3 goals now. They now have 17. And so the story here at match day 20, Hartlepool have picked up the 3 points and they move up second place on the Premier League log, just 5 points behind leaders Medema SC, having scored 17 goals and conceding 7 there. And for the 11 Wonders side, still glued on the bottom of the Premier League log, having only scored 14 and now conceding 35 goals in the Premier League and now losing their 16th match out of 20 matches played in the Premier League. And man of the match this afternoon, Abdul Karim, he's been pretty much cool, calm and collected at the heart of midfield there for Hartlepool.
Brilliant display from him. Obey Hardy would be disappointed that Karim has controlled and conducted that midfield for Hartlepool. Perfect display from them, getting the attackers on the score sheet. SCB, the very good game. Benjamin Asari, a clean sheet. The two coaches can appreciate the effort of each other, but Didi exploiting and making sure his team took advantage of the lapses, the weaknesses of the 11 Wonders team to get maximum points.
So there will be lots of exciting and merriment here. So 3 goals there for Hartlepool. The 10 goals or 10 shots there, Hartlepool having 98 of them. Into the shot on target there, you see 5, but possession there, Hartlepool leading 54% and 46 there. As many as 8 corners in the game. And so here at the Legon Stadium, match day 20 match between Hartlepool 11 Wonders, nil, Hartlepool 3.
in the end, it was a comfortable victory for Heartland, where the Kelvin Osasibe putting the icing on the cake. A 3-0 victory over 11 Wonders means that Heartland have done the doubles over the new entrants. They beat them in the first leg and are followed up with 3 goals in the second leg. My name is Mutale Yakubu. This is TV3 and Onuya TV, and it's the Ghana Premier League. I have with me the head coach of Heartland, Masood Didi Dramani. Coach, first of all, congratulations. How would you assess the performance of the boys, especially in the second half?
I think that it is good that at least we had our first 3-0 win in a game. But I think that we still need to be more clinical, and then we need to be more conventional, and then also making the right decisions in very key moments. For me, I'm more into the small details of the game, and so I wasn't a very too happy a person, because both structures in terms of our defensive phase, there's clear identity of what we have to do when we don't have the ball, especially when we need to win the ball in higher positions. And so these key aspects are aspects that I don't take light to. I really emphasize on these aspects.
Of course. Now, how important was it to get that early goal in the 8 minutes? And when you are playing sides like 11 Wonders, who are all about the results because they are not good enough this season?
I think that I told you before that in the pre-match interview, that playing against such sides is very difficult in the sense that they have nothing to lose, and so they play, with all the courage and then with all the enthusiasm and curiosity. But you are playing for something, and you need to play to a certain pattern, and so you need to make the right decisions in terms of positioning. Positioning for me is so key, both on and off the ball, and these are the clear indications of what we want to do. So sometimes it's difficult for my players to understand that I don't seem to be happy on certain aspects, because they might think that it's okay, but I see it differently, because I think we need to set the right standards.
Of course. Now, how you've closed the gap on league leaders Mediama to 5 points. How big is getting 3 points today going into the rest of the season?
I think that every game comes with its own approaches. We approach every game differently, because all the teams are not the same. Every team comes in with a different approach. This 11 Wonders team, if you underestimate what they bring about in terms of their team play, you'll be surprised, because they play freely and with fluidity. They move the ball very, very well and get into very decisive moments of the pitch. And so their position should not deceive you. Teams that are struggling, how they can play so well and how dangerous they can be. I think that it was very important that we won the game.
Of course, Coach, we wish you the very best for your next game. Coach Masood Didi Dramani is the head coach of Heartland. Pleased with the scoreline, but not too pleased with the performance of the team. And he says that they will still need to improve in a lot of phases of the game. Today, they won 3-0 against 11 Wonders. And shortly, I have been joined by the head coach of 11 Wonders, Emmanuel Edu. Now, Coach, I was in the stands and the fans were saying the same thing. 11 Wonders, so why are you not scoring?
That means you're bobo, because the result is what matters most. I think today I'm really disappointed in the boys, because it's just that they don't listen. Yes, because you've watched our games, and in as much as we lose, we don't go down that much. Yeah, and I don't know why.
Do you think that early goal Heartland scored actually destabilized the team?
Not really, because as you can see, after the first goal, we regrouped and we came out, to the end of the first half, and even beginning of the second half, we were still, pressing, trying to get an equalizer until that mistake came again. And then they had a second goal.
Of course, when a defeat like this comes, it is difficult to find positives. But what lessons are you taking from this one into match day 21?
Yeah, we need to, go back to the drawing board, and, since it's a marathon and we've not ended it yet, we need to keep on pushing. So I don't think this defeat will really have anything to do with, our future preparation. we'll just go, because we still have FA Cup and other things ahead. So
all right,
we're not going.
Coach, commiseration to you, but wish you the best going into your next game. That is the head coach of 11 Wonders, Emmanuel Edu. Not forgetting, that they started the season with Neo Dati Lamte before J. Sapon came in and he has taken over. They are rock bottom of the Ghana Premier League and he's not happy and he's very disappointed with the performance of the team. Now, one man who is happy because he has been voted the most valuable player in today's game. He came from Nations FC and he's doing the business for Heart of Folk, Abdul Karim. Karim, and he what's up? Because the match they won against Hoho United, OJ man of the match, and they what's the man of the match. Personally, now how do you feel?
First of all, medical as a demon and player the Obia determination is a obobo game na game no kwawie na now we have vote to player of the game. I think say any GM to make an say money.
Of course, now any GM no I'm man for baby cause Heart of Folk bobo na sumu ntimi she goes. Problem na nkasa wa hwe free.
Yeni nkasa kra na yentie ho ase because the way I see finishing with training ground na ye ba match day na ya na no man koyi na ye nkasa na yentie ho ase. But you because say kakran no everywhere.
When you have 3 points, more closely Gabno on Mediema. How important is this game going into the rest of the season?
Oh, once House of Folk there our tournament to be a man. Untimi kasa House of Folk this second because House of Folk there say a tournament to be an I say one edge. Inti we no so marathon echo. Inti a fun match after match. To win our conde be boy pa ne game le yan.
Of course.
Ti next week be chem so ahwe.
And the winner ba e dey na we catch fans no.
Make a chum say omunya abotre maye because the way aye yesi pay ho no enye saa bi kra na ye ne nya ye no nti e besro mu say omunya ntobase man no mu fampa ibonta echi.
Currently one of the best midfielders in the Ghana Premier League, Abdul Karim, plays for Heart of Folk and he's been voted the most valuable player. Duke would come back and join me so that we wrap up here at the Accra Sports Stadium. He was hoping for a lot of goals. He saw 3 goals in there. I mean, in the end, Heart of Folk, it was joy for them. It looked like 11 Wonders would mount a comeback, but it was never meant to be.
They could have actually scored more if they wanted. I mean, depending on how really. But this is actually quite good. I think Didi would go home today, sleep quite soundly, because this is the first time Hearts of Folk have scored 2 unanswered goals in a game since October. The last time was in Brekum, where they beat Brekum Chelsea 2-0 on the 19th of October. So this is very good for Hearts of Folk, and it's good for them because second half they played better. They created more chances. You saw the second goal quite untidy, but of course, it ended up at the back of the net.
It's not really a happy man. He says that he's not satisfied with the performance, even though the scoreline if you didn't watch the game, you would think that Hearts of Folk blew them away.
If you look at the statistics and his own performance and how many goals he's been able to score, today is not the one goal project that we've seen. So if you're a team and your biggest if your Achilles heel is scoring goals and you haven't been able to score more than 2 in a very long while, and today you have 3, it should tell that something is working. What they have to do rather is to pick up the lessons that they can. I call it a confidence or a morale boosting performance today. Pick up the confidence from it, pick up the lessons, try and make your team sharper going into the next game against
Does this result further extinguish any hope of 11 Wonders staying in the league?
I think so. It will be very difficult for them to come back. 14 more games to go, but 20 games down the line, still languishing at the bottom. Today would be 32 goals conceded, 14 goals scored. It doesn't look like there's any way back for them. It will take a miracle.
Of course, Hearts of Folk back firmly in the title conversation, just 5 points between them and Mediema. In this instance, if you are part of the Hearts setup, what do you concentrate on? Is it your own performance improving, or you also look at the other teams?
Transitions, link-up play, sharp shooting. Those are the 3 things that Didi should be doing. Quicker transitions, because you wouldn't get... Not all the teams would give you the respite to be playing around with the ball and would tolerate sluggish transitioning. Some of the teams... You transition very slowly, 1, 2, 3 passes, they'll punish you. You won't have that luxury with all the teams. So they need to work on their transition, make it a lot more sharper, sharp-shootly, and then find a way of bettering their hold-up play in the final thing.
Just 20 seconds. Benjamin Asari, another clean sheet. Otuado currently watching and see what is number 1
he wasn't troubled much.
Yeah.
He wasn't. If you want to assess him, there's not a game to assess him. he was in trouble.
So Benjamin Asari there on your screens there, keeping another clean sheet for Hartlepool. He is currently the number 1 for the Black Stars, and Hartlepool have gotten a big 3 points here against 11 Wonders. It is a positive result for them as they will look to go into match day 21 with a lot of confidence. This is where we call it a wrap with our coverage of the Ghana Premier League here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It has ended 3-0 in favor of Hartlepool against 11 Wonders. My name is Mutalaya Kubu. I did this with the Duke Mensa. Tomorrow we'll be at the Baba Sports Stadium because there's a big one at Sante Kotoko after that a draw against BBN Gold Stars are back home. This time they are playing Baseke Holy Stars. From us here, the APL crew, to you at home for doing the watching, we say thank you and let's meet tomorrow at 3 p.m. for that big one. Bye for now.